Ohio dudettes and all my beautiful people of the interwebs, bloody nuts here, aka Big Off Again, and your resident anime king. Guys, it is Saturday, so it is time to go beyond. Welcome to the United States of Smash with the Smash Podcast. I hope everyone is having an amazing start to their new year. It is 2020, so it's a new year, new movies, new comics in the works, as well as, more importantly, new anime is on the way. What's going on, Phoenix? How's everyone in the chat doing tonight? I hope everyone's doing. I hope this one's gonna be special because some mothers out there are not here tonight. I'm talking about all those frauding asses are not here right now. No siree. Appa's not here. G's not here because he decided to go to a Clippers game and got stuck in traffic because, you know, it's in LA, because California. And Soul had to get dragged to dinner because who needs food, right? Like, why would you go out and have dinner? Come on now. That's no. The only person who has a valid excuse is Kofi, because mad love to my boy Kofi, because just past Saturday, right before the New Year's, he had his newborn baby son. So now we have a baby Kofi. So make sure you go follow him on Twitter and show him some love and give a lot of respect to my new Smash brother. And make sure you go and give him all the respect of being the amazing father that he does. Because you know, when his wife says something, he's got to do it. No ifs, ands, or buts on that one. And he's kind of like the hard way. But I'm not gonna let you guys go empty-handed. So it is up to me, the fearless leader and the amazing anime man that I am, to hold it down for you guys and keep it going. What's going on, Kat? How's it going tonight? So, because it's just me, because everyone decided that, oh, they're too good to show up for the show, I'm going to be irresponsible and have some drink in my cup as I talk with you beautiful people about everything that's going on in the world of anime and pop culture right now. It's been a slow start, but the rumors are already starting to run rampant. There have been some new confirmations, and things are already starting to pick up. The new anime season, for those who are excited for the winter season, is about to start. It actually had some of its first shows tonight and this past week. Next week is the last week of many of the old everything from the fall season, so a lot of that's ending now, and we're gonna keep that all going. Is my drink hot cocoa? It's hot something, I'll say that. I'm just gonna put that out there. So don't mind me. Phoenix, thanks for the host, my man. Thank you for the host. Sake, I wish. Get some marshmallows. All the marshmallows. No, I have like a little bit of sake left. But that's not what we having tonight. Oh, I mean, no. So, I hope that everyone's been having a great New Year. And everyone's having a great start. And I hope that no matter where you're watching things, that you're loving everything that's coming out, everything that's going on right now in the world of anime and pop culture. There's a lot of good stuff and things that I'm absolutely excited for. Because man, 2019 was such a great year for anime. And I'm gonna talk about some of my top fives for 2019 later on. I know last week for our 2-year anniversary, we talked about some of the best of the decade and what we think that this decade is going to be remembered for. But there's definitely some other great news that's been coming on and everything that's going on right now. Just a lot to be excited for, man. Like, really, there's just a lot to be excited for with all the anime that's about to come out. Starting with the winter season has me excited. You know, catching up and finishing up on some of the stuff from the fall season. I'm still finishing up on trying to watch through Phantasy Star Online 2 or episode Oracle because I want to get that warm up before Phantasy Star Online 2 comes out on the Xbox here in the West in the next month, which I already got my confirmation for the closed beta. I just gotta wait for when they announce that date. So you know your boy's gonna be hardcore streaming that. So you know I'm gonna be all over that because the Japanese enthusiast for Xbox has to be representing when his favorite anime and Japanese content comes over. Of course, other than that, I just finished up earlier today. I finished up No Guns Life. Really solid anime. I really like the action, the story, the characters are really entertaining in that one. Very unique. Now there's a few left that I gotta start. I gotta finish. I already finished. The hero is overpowered but overly cautious. That was a phenomenal isekai and a wonderful series. Super funny. I'm actually reading the manga. I'm excited for what comes next. I hope it gets a second season. Even if it doesn't, I'm very happy with where it ended. So we can see how that's gonna go. Let's see here. Jay Slayer, Bloody, you will turn the music down. It's hard to hear. Okay, I'll turn it down right now, Jay. Hang on. I do apologize about all of that. Shut up. What's my name? How's that? Is that better? Let me know if that's better, Jay. I want to make sure I get it just right. Because I want the music in the background, basically it's just ambiance to kind of be playing and everything. So hopefully it's not too bad. I have sensory overload. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Cav. Way better? Okay, cool. So hopefully that, all right, I'm glad that's a lot better. Basically, there's just a lot to go, especially during right now, leftover of the fall season. Probably one of the bigger ones that I still need to watch is Rifle is Beautiful. I want to watch that because that one's about girls after school rifle team. I need to watch Kadokawa Jet Girls, which is a sports anime about girls who ride around on jet skis and shoot each other with water guns because you know, Keijo was one of my favorite shows. I love that. Oh, Sleepy, why are you crying? Don't be a sad turtle. No sad turtles. No, I understand, Cav. I understand. I know all about that. I know it's on that and other things. I'm glad. What else? What else am I finishing up from the fall season? I need to watch those. I finished up a lot of my major shows. Oh, Vinland Saga just ended. And oh my god, that first season, bruh. I was like, you want to talk about another manga I'm starting to pick up? That is absolutely one of them. Dr. Stone, I don't keep up with Dr. Stone, so don't ask me. I don't like Dr. Stone at all. I absolutely hated it. And yeah, I know you like it, Sleepy, but I couldn't do it. I was like, it makes me so mad as someone who loves science. Because, no, trust me, I'm all about science. I am a science nerd, right? I was studying biology and all that when I was in school. I just don't like the way that they explain science. They try to go way too in depth with the science and over explain it, and it pulls away from everything. If they did it in the vein of like how cells at work explained how the body works, that would have been a lot better. No, I'm all about, don't get me wrong, when anime is all does their thing, they make it fun. But they did not make that fun. They made it irritating. Like I said, I was like, because of the fact that they have one character who does all the science and everyone just questions, and he's over eccentric and not even in the entertaining way for it. Like I said, if they did it like how they made cells at work, which explains how the body's systems work by having all the cells, all the red blood cells are their own thing, all the white blood cells are their own thing, and having a lot of more nuanced characteristics like that. Same with the dendrites, same with the hemoglobins, same with the platelets and everything. They explained how all of those characters interact, and whenever they started a process, they explained it real quick, but they made it understandable enough without overdoing it and making it too drawn out. That's what Dr. Stone does for me, and it annoys me because they add way too much context, and that takes away a lot of the issue or a lot of the love that I have for science. I mean, yeah, I know that he does later on, but it's one of those ones that I can't do because they bored the shit out of me in the beginning. So I'm just like, I'm not gonna get through this all, and that's saying something because I sat through a lot of SAO and I wanted to bash my head in against the wall sometimes. The only good SAO was Alternative Gun Gale because I liked Karen and Len more than I give a shit about Kirito and his fuckboy nature. Dead Man Wonderland is good, but I prefer the manga compared to the anime because the anime made way too many changes and it ended and it's never going to get continued, and they left off at not even halfway through the story, maybe like not even a quarter of the way through. I mean, the first half of season 1 was good, and then after that they annoyed me because they literally just, SAO was written by a teenager, right? And that if you read the light novels, when Asuna invited him to stay the night, and it was basically implied that they slept together and all that kind of stuff. If you read the light novel, you can tell it was written by a guy who's never had sex before. It was awkward as shit. It was the worst thing. Cav, if you really like Dead Man Wonderland, read the manga. Trust me, read the manga. I tell everyone, I love Dead Man Wonderland, but read the manga. Forget the anime. Don't ever start it. It was like bags of sand. Exactly. I'm just like, why? Dude, it's like really bad fan fiction. It's like trying to describe, I'm not even gonna go into that. It was just bad. It was just bad, man. It was, oh my god, awful. It's so awful. Jay Slayer's probably over there cracking up right now. But, like I said, the fall season of 2019 was absolutely powerful, absolutely stacked, and I loved every bit of it. It was truly something special, and everything. But 2019 just had a lot of great stuff, and I'm gonna get into that later. But the winter season going into 2020 is absolutely stacked and powerful, and I'm excited for what's going to be coming here in the future, because this year, oh my god, if you thought 2019 was a great year for anime, 2020 is absolutely going to be great. And I think next week I'm going to do a full breakdown of everything new coming in the new season right now for the fall, because there's some great stuff that I'm excited for. A lot of things, a lot of series that are finally getting new seasons or their final seasons after years of waiting. I'm excited for them. Probably one of the ones that I'll absolutely say right now is I love My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu. That was probably one of my favorite harem rom-coms around, and I'm glad that it's finally getting its final season. It's finally finishing up, because the manga and the light novel series has been finished for a while, and I'm glad that it's finally getting its third and final season, because where they left off with season 2 made me so sad, and I love those characters. Yes, Black Lagoon is fantastic, Jay Slayer, because Revi is that bitch who you do not fuck with. That is a classic right there. She will shoot everyone in the dick, don't matter, especially a man, and especially if they're a Nazi. Just everywhere. You're going with Birth of a Digital Soul. Oh, is that the new Alicization arc? I haven't kept up with it. That was a great show. Or Birth of a Digital Soul. Maybe that's a different one. I have to check that one out. I like the nuns. Sexy nuns. That's how I liked Quasar Stigmata. Sexy nuns. Yep. I love the dub and the sub for Black Lagoon. That one, the dub is pretty good. I was like, but I prefer that one in sub, just because they make Revi sound more badass. But it's still good, either way. Nevertheless, there's a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's go ahead and hop into some of these topics. And there's one that I want to absolutely start with. I like the nun and the leader of Hotel Moscow too. Yeah. But we're going to go ahead and start with a couple things. And before we get into the anime news, because we're going to run into quite a bit of that, I want to start off with some pop culture news and probably the biggest ones that are out right now. And I got one that I'm going to start with here that was just sent to me. And that is there right now for all my comic book lovers. There is a rumor that Marvel Studios has regained we control of Hulk and Namor from Universal Pictures. Now, before we go forward with this, I do need to let everyone know that this is just a rumor. This has not been confirmed yet, but if this is true, that Marvel Studios has regained control of Hulk and Namor, that one brings in a lot of potential to be able to do a lot more with those characters, because especially with already what's being rumored for Black Panther 2, there's already a lot of evidence to think that they are going to do the Atlantean and Wakandan War, which takes the Submariners himself, Namor, and has his people fighting the Wakandans right there off the coast of Africa for control. And that's how we first get to see Namor especially make his appearance in the MCU. Now, if they regain control of the Hulk, this is going to piss some people off because of the fact that after what happened and what we saw with the Hulk going into happen in Endgame, and how they confirmed that his healing factor will not be able to heal him from the damage of the Infinity Stones and everything that happened in that film, a lot of people felt that they did that to Hulk kind of out of spite to Universal, because of the fact that they won't be able to get to use him as much anymore. Not as like what we saw the level of him being used in Thor Ragnarok. But now, if this rumor is true, that means there's no more distribution issues, so they don't have to go through Universal. So now we can actually do a solo Hulk film, as well that they could do a solo Namor film, but we doubt that they'll ever do it. This is gonna make some little bit of intentional issues of what they can do story-wise for the Hulk going forward, especially kind of where they left that character after everything. Now, I think that they could recover from it. They could do a few things that could probably improve. I know right now at the end of Endgame and where we're kind of left right now, we have Professor Hulk. So it is going to be a massive change on what we could see done with that character. But there is potential of how they can kind of fix some of their issues with everything that they did with the character of the Hulk. So right now it's just going to kind of potentially be a lot of reworking with everything. Now, the Submariner himself with Namor, while the Aquaman for DC was massively successful, I don't think that Namor himself can stand on his own, just because of the kind of personality that he has, as far as we know based on the comics. He hasn't had a lot of reworking in recent comics or anything like that. And honestly, I feel like the best way to do him is to use him as a villain, especially for Black Panther, and using that as a big kind of set piece to bring him in, and then slowly work him into being an Avenger and having an integral part to everything that we know. Let's see here. Yeah, I recall Fryface being a badass. That Russian chick. Or the maid that drives the car on the roof. Roberta. Yeah, Roberta. But it's a good thing if that rumor does hold true. But I want to say that right now it's going to be hard for them to do. They could do Hulk solo. It would just have to be a massive change after the fact that they set up having Professor Hulk right now compared to anything else that we know, and especially after the injuries that he sustained from Endgame. So he's going to need a lot of revamping. As for Namor and the Submariner, I think that using him as a villain in a set piece for another existing character would do him a lot better to introduce then having him get his own film, kind of like as we saw with a lot of the other characters throughout the MCU, kind of debuting in other films before they got their own set pieces. The only ones who really didn't was Guardians of the Galaxy, Doctor Strange, and a few others. So, again, treat that rumor as a rumor right now because there's been no official confirmation of anything. But I would love to see what they're able to accomplish with all of that and seeing where it'll go in the future. So right now, the future of the MCU, despite how everyone feels, is good. I do say that there is a bit of the pandering for the larger SJW crowd, but when done right, depending on the writers, depending on the directors, it can be done well. I still enjoy the films. I was like, I know its appeal, but I am getting a lot more love out of DC. So I'm just excited for how things are going to play out from both sides. The MCU has a really good direction. They have a lot of new stuff coming. They have Shang-Chi, which I'm absolutely excited for. We're going to see the Universe of Madness in the new Doctor Strange sequel. The fact is that we now have confirmation that they're doing a Blade series with Mushara Ali, which I'm absolutely looking forward to because I think that he could do a great job. I think if he just practices and spends the next while bulking up, spending a lot of time practicing martial arts, getting real good with his with the style that he's going to be practicing with Blade, and having a great choreographer and trainer working with him, I think that he could do a good job. I know he doesn't have a lot of fight experience or natural abilities, kind of like we saw with Wesley Snipes back in the day, but things could probably change. Not everyone does all that. Ryan Reynolds is one of a few, and a lot of others who actually practice all that kind of stuff that they do. So I think that given the chance, he could potentially do really well. But let's see. He's absolutely gonna need a bulk up. Sleepy, absolutely. Okay, Phoenix, thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us for a bit, man. Don't worry about it. You take it easy. Thanks for hanging out. WandaVision is supposed to be coming out next year or in 2022, I believe. I believe a majority of the MCU TV shows are going to start in some of them are going to be in 2021 in the fall, and then they're going to go into 2022. So I know Marvel What If I think starts in the fall, and I think WandaVision starts in the fall. No. WandaVision starts in spring of 2022. Fall is What If, and I believe it's Winter Soldier and the Falcon. And then in late 2022, I believe that's when we're getting Blade. So they're, like I said, they have a good set list of things to come in the next few years, and I'm really looking forward to where things are going to go from here. So it's definitely going to be a lot, and it's definitely got a lot of potential on how things are going to, how it's all going to play out and everything. Hang on. Okay. Now, apparently there's an issue with everyone not being able to hear. And I gotta make sure that works. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, cool. Okay, looks like we may have someone join again last minute after all. I know y'all can hear, but it looks like someone was trying to join into the Discord call, and they were having trouble hearing me, or they didn't see. I was about to say, oh no, we ain't doing that, baby. Oh no. So now, yeah, okay, cool. At least y'all can hear because they're trying to say that they can't get into they can't hear me in the Discord call. So I told them, I was like, no, I'm in Discord. I told them, yeah, no, we're in here. So they trying to show in right now. All right, well, these mothers are coming in. Well, it looks like some bitches got off their ass and tried to hop in. Anyways, MCU has great things coming. DC has great things coming. I'm looking forward to the new Birds of Prey film and all that. So Birds of Prey and the wonderful emancipation of one Harley Quinn. I'm excited for that one. So there's just good things coming in the works. But continuing from the talk of Namor and Hulk supposedly getting picked up by supposedly the rumor of them getting control for those films, there is another rumor right now that I am absolutely looking forward to that has me excited. And for those who don't know, is that a while back it was confirmed that Moon Knight is getting its own series, I believe on Disney Plus. I believe is where they're going to be putting it, not on Hulu like some of their other shows. They said that they're going to try and utilize Hulu as their more adult series for the MCU and stuff like that. But they're trying to fit as much as they can on Hulu Plus or on their Disney Plus. And I don't want them to hold back certain characters that are very hardcore because of that. You know, Blade is one of those ones that shouldn't be held back. And they do need to embrace that because you see the success of something like Deadpool. We now see the success of Joker. They need to embrace that. Some of the heroes in some certain comic books are a little bit more adult oriented. I know that it's all about merchandising. We all know it's all about merchandising. We all know it's about, hey, I want to be able to take my kids to these films. So, you know, they push the PG-13 to the further side on certain things. They do try to push it, not necessarily with the language that you would expect from some of these characters, but more some of the action. But there are just certain characters that are very vulgar. I was like, we've seen that successfully you can do Deadpool in a PG-13 or even a PG series because we've seen the animated or the new animated Amazing Spider-Man series, and we've seen the crossover episodes with Spider-Man and Deadpool, and there's a whole dedicated comic book series, right? A mini-series of Deadpool and Spider-Man that are phenomenal, but Deadpool doesn't hold back, you know, and having a character like, you know, as Peter and Spider-Man, you know, he's a little bit more, it's a little bit greener, you know, he's not as vulgar or anything like that, but the interactions between those is very upfront and a little bit in your face, especially with a character like Deadpool. But when you look at characters like Blade and especially Moon Knight is absolutely one of the most aggressive, assertive, in-your-face kind of assholes that you cannot tone down. He is one of those characters that his violence, you cannot hold back. Just like you cannot do a TV series like The Punisher and not have it rated R. Not have it NC-17. It cannot be not graphic because the Punisher is the living embodiment of war. He is a soldier or retired detective, whichever comic line you're looking at, who's out for blood against mafia members, gangsters, or everything. And he doesn't take no half measures. Not like Daredevil, not like Spider-Man or any of them. He is, I'm going all the way. I'm going to put a bullet through your skull, and there's nothing you can do to kill me, which you won't. I'm going to kill you. And that's how he lives. That is his very code and essence of everything he does. And you can't tone a character like that down. And Moon Knight is just as bad as Punisher. And Moon Knight and Punisher have gone up against each other. And they've had some very interesting fights and banter. But with knowing the fact that Moon Knight is going to be getting his own series and everything like that, what has me excited is that there's a rumor right now, and I believe that they did kind of confirm this a little bit, is that one of the villains that is set to appear in the Moon Knight series is none other than the one and only Dracula himself. And that has me excited because, one, Moon Knight, as aggressive as he is, he's very gullible sometimes. He is very gullible. He's an asshole, but he falls for half the bullshit that everyone tells him, except for Punisher, because when him and Punisher run into each other, they fight. Like, they always fight, but he gets caught up in... yeah, exactly, Sleepy. The Punisher's superpower is bullets, and bigger bullets. That's his whole thing. Oh, also, his ultra power is explosives. I was like, he loves his explosives, right? That is the Punisher's superpower is bullets, more bullets, and explosives. But having the fact that Dracula is set to appear, because that starts to really introduce a lot more of the supernatural. Like, we already know they started introducing that with Doctor Strange. But now, when you bring out a character that's as supernatural as Moon Knight, being the vessel of vengeance for the goddess Khonshu, and having the personality that Moon Knight does, it adds for a lot of very adult humor. Because the fact that, like I said, there are plenty of comics and things that show that one, Moon Knight is really, really badly gullible in a lot of the things that happen to him. But knowing the fact that Dracula is set to appear, we're going to see him, and supposedly Werewolf by Night is also supposed to appear as one of the villains for Moon Knight. And there are some really, really great lines from some of the comics that makes me die, that I hope that they're able to do because of the fact of the interaction. So one of my favorite panels and one of my favorite lines is when Moon Knight goes to Dracula's castle and he's looking for Dracula. It makes me laugh because Moon Knight is literally beating down all of Dracula's minions, and he says the following line. He says, "I know you're here, Dracula, you big fucking nerd. Where's my goddamn money?" So he goes to Dracula's castle, beats up Dracula's minions, and shakes him down and be like, "Where's my money, bitch? Where is it? Where the hell is my money?" And one of my other favorite scenes is he's just like, Moon Knight hacks into the Avengers. He hacks into their computer at their base, and Cap is talking to Spider-Man, saying, "Someone's hacking."
1, 2, 3, check 1, 2, 3, check 2, 3.
Oh, look who showed up finally. Look who is here.
Hello, sir.
How's it going, mister? I've been without internet for almost 3 weeks.
It's been like ancient times, you know.
I know.
It's been terrible.
It has been terrible.
Never like went that long without internet in my life.
He's like, I didn't know what to do for so long.
I didn't know what to do with myself. I have a smart TV, couldn't watch like Netflix or anything. I was distraught.
He just literally sat on his phone and caused fuck shit on Twitter.
Yeah, I had to I had to do everything on my phone.
Oh man, that's horrible. But guys, look who finally makes his comeback after living in the Stone Ages for the past however long it was, like 17 years. Our resident artist and my brother, the Soul King himself. What's going on, my brother?
Hey man, how are you?
It's good. You had a good New Year's?
Yeah. I just sat and watched Netflix all day with my girl. Oh. It was cool though. We just did that and ate like some TGI Fridays. I relaxed.
Angel, thank you for the auto host girl over on Mixer for them. I was like, man, I got some rocket solo, so I was like, I'm gonna be irresponsible and drink on the show tonight.
Listen, you can still drink, ain't no problem.
You had it now. I told him, I was like, Op is busy doing whatever the hell he's doing because he's driving. I told him that why the hell G thought it was a good time to go see a Clippers. Yeah, go see a Clippers game, and now he's stuck in traffic because it's California. I was like, the only one who's got an excuse is Kofi because he had a kid now. I was like, Soul over here went to dinner. I was like, who the hell goes out for dinner and sits down? I was like, what kind of bullshit?
Listen, I don't even like sitting down, but listen, they wanted to go eat some crabs, so I was like, you know what? I come, act like a normal person.
He's like, I'll go be bougie for an hour and a half or so.
Yeah. I usually don't act like a normal person. I'd rather just stay in the house or eat in the house.
Hey, just go pick it up and just come back. I don't want to leave. I don't want to go.
Yeah.
I mean, I seen the videos from your your security camera out on your porch. It's like Gotham out there.
Yeah, it's definitely Gotham out here. So I don't go. If it's either we gonna go eat at the place, and we're not gonna make no detours. We're not gonna stop and chill at anywhere, like any house outside. We're just gonna go to the restaurant and come back.
He's like, we're gonna go there, pick it up, and come right back. He's like, no detours. He's like, I don't care if you want. He's like, that ice cream you want? No, you ain't getting it. Too bad. We going there and right back.
Yeah, you might like run into what is it, Crime Alley.
Oh no. He doesn't want to get Batman now. But man, tell them about what you've been watching lately. I was like, I'm gonna go load up some more.
Did you tell them what you've been watching recently?
Yeah, I already told them all that.
Recently I've been watching, of course, the best anime of 2019, the GOAT Villain Saga. Also, I think I've been. Actually, I haven't been watching that many anime, to be honest. It sucks. Of course, My Hero, but My Hero has been mid. What else? I've been watching, The Mandalorian, of course. That was super fire.
Have you not seen the season finale yet of The Mandalorian? I watched that when it came out.
Oh yeah, I seen it. It was fire.
Oh, dude,
especially,
Mandalorian.
Like the connect, like the Dark Blade. Come on, man.
Oh yeah, trust me. We're gonna talk about that when we get into the Star Wars news here in a minute.
What else? And of course, watch You on Netflix. What else? I haven't been. The thing is, I haven't been watching that many anime, but I know for sure it was My Hero, Vinland Saga, and that's much.
Have you watched the Abandoned Sacred Beast? Like I've been saying.
Oh no.
That one you gotta watch because that was from the summer season. I was like, trust me, that one was great.
And I think I started Blood Sea again.
Oh, Blood Sea is classic. Blood Sea is classic. All right, well, glad that you finally back up. I was like, guys, and while I have my boy here and all you guys, I want to let y'all know I'm in the middle of some things. But Smash Podcast is going to absolutely be growing in 2020. I was like, not just my personal streaming. For those who don't know, I stream about 4 times a week and do all sorts of stuff like that. But I've also have amazing new partners with Magnacore Energy and Jerky XP. I was like, but I cannot leave all my podcast people behind for everyone who supported us. And the thing I'm about to let y'all know is that we have merch coming this year. Hopefully we're gonna be able to get that launched. Comes hopefully about February. It's in the works right now. But you're gonna have stuff for me personally, for my stuff, for all the streaming. But we're also gonna make gear specifically for our fans who support the Smash Podcast and everything like that. And of course, I'm gonna have our boy here who makes all of our art, who's done a lot of it. I was like, he did our logo and he did our banner over on YouTube. We're gonna be updating a lot. And of course, y'all seen Chibi Bloody and all that. I was like, and all of that. I was like, he's gonna be the one doing all that. So whenever y'all see those beautiful T-shirts that come out, you can know who did that, and that's our boy right here. So make sure you go and follow him and give him all the love because not only that, speaking of comics, you got a webcomic coming out, right?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm currently just building up the story and the world and everything and the continuity. I want to make everything as connected as possible, but yeah, hopefully I can get it out by 2020. Honestly, I hope.
If we do that, I'm just saying that we should also make like a video series of getting up a bunch of people that we know to voice the characters and doing like a screen read. So like have all the web comics and everyone just has a character and do all that. Dope.
That definitely be dope. I fuck with that. Yeah.
I say because you have your character, I have mine. We have all the Smash people have a character.
I'm probably gonna be in the background because I think I actually suck at like
voice acting.
So yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, y'all seen me, y'all know I can voice act. Y'all know I get wild with that shit.
You're perfect for it. So like, you got it. I know it. Me personally, I suck.
Exactly. So, guys, y'all see the kind of things that we got coming in 2020. So I was like, let everyone know. I was like, don't sleep on Smash. I was like, we are making big moves. We got big things from all of us personally, but everything that we're doing with the show. I was like, we gonna be up there with every other big name, every big show. I was like, we're gonna try and get more people, more guests. We're gonna try and do other things. If you have someone who you think would be awesome to come on, let them know and come hang out with us. Let us know. Tell them to come check us out, to reach out to us on Twitter, on wherever, on Instagram, whatever. Let them know. We want more people to come. Smash is always an open platform for anyone. We don't care about any of the bullshit. We don't do drama. I was like, we don't care. I was like, we want people who are passionate about pop culture, whether it's anime, movies, comics, TV show, everything like that, to come hang out with us.
Yeah, if you're a nerd, come through.
Exactly. As a nerd, if you a nerd, come on through. Now, real quick, I want to get your thoughts on the rumors that supposedly Marvel has gotten the rights back for Namor and the Hulk. I want you to do that because I was talking about Moon Knight, but I want to get your thoughts real quick on Hulk and Namor.
Honestly, I think it's really good because I think like recently they haven't been able to go fully out with the the Hulk franchise. Actually, Fox and everybody made the Hulk franchise, correct? Like the movies?
No, that was Universal Pictures. That's all from Universal.
Pictures. Okay. So now we might actually get like a real, Hulk movie. Yeah. That's actually like that has a decent budget. So, hopefully they can do a good job. It's hard to like actually like do the Hulk and like, but I have faith in Marvel, honestly. So, and Kevin Feige. And also on the Namor thing, this would be a great time, for that Black Panther too. So.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Oh shit! Hang on, real quick. Got to shout out to the big brother Prometheus.
108.
108 is in the building. What's good?
Yeah, it'd be definitely be a good way. I doubt they'd do what I'm thinking, but like it'd be a good way to like even like try to like introduce the mutants because he technically was the first mutant. So.
Yep. I was like I said, that's what I mentioned is that if they do Namor, don't do a solo film. Let him be a villain and set him up in a film with what we already have as some of the seeds that were planted for Black Panther 2 with the Wakandan and Atlantean War. And let that be the way that they introduce him before they eventually either do a solo Namor film or bring him into other team-ups. I was like, because Namor hasn't had a lot of big revamping through comics in recent years, so his personality is kind of a bit arrogant and a bit of a dickish. So some people might be put off by that because when you look at like the success of Aquaman, he had a lot of revamping over the years, and that's why with what they did with Aquaman, he's been so loved now. I was like, but I don't think a lot of people will connect with Namor in the same way.
Back in the day, like Aquaman was just so stuck up and just like bland.
And
like,
bland, yeah.
The Aquaman that we see in the DC what is it, the DCEU universe or whatever?
Yeah.
It's completely different than like the comics. So like he's like a bad boy kind of like a biker like kind of dude in like the DC universe. He's completely different. And it's actually cool if you like it. So.
Yeah. So I'm all about that. So if they do Namor, absolutely do him in a movie and make him a villain ish, or at least an antagonist, and kind of see. And I said, I'm glad
build up the world and like show us Atlantis and stuff like that, and how like it would be dope. I hope they do it and they just don't make him like some one-off trash character.
Yeah. That's one thing because he does become a big part of the Avengers later on. Now, with the fact that they get the Hulk back, that's the biggest one is the fact that you got to remember how they left him at the end of Endgame, and a lot of people theorize that was because kind of out of spite against Universal with the fact that they couldn't do a solo Hulk film and everything. So what they do with the Hulk going forward is going to be interesting on how they can possibly revamp and improve the Hulk from what they had. Because with what we got with Professor Hulk at the end of Endgame, well, I do like Professor Hulk. Kind of what they did him, you can kind of see where it was a little bit dirty.
Yeah, it definitely feels intentional. Like they're like, you know what, we're getting sick and tired of just having him just be in here, and we can't really like use him. So
yeah, we can't go through.
We're just gonna make him like useless in general.
Yeah, and you gotta think that's after like the success of how everyone liked Thor or Hulk and Thor Ragnarok. So
Yeah, I don't. But the thing is, just like recently, like you've been seeing like a lot of actors just been talking like kind of badly about Disney. Like Ruffalo, he's kind of been in that position for a while. Do you think they're gonna actually like they might change him out like later on if you don't want him to do it anymore?
Yeah, I heard about that, but I know that he's also been talking a lot with Kevin Feige, and Kevin Feige's been supporting a lot of what Mark has been saying about ways to improve the Hulk going forward.
It seemed like he really had like a distaste because like his character, he felt like he could get way more character development.
Oh yeah, I was about to say, and I know that they were kind of held back because of the fact that Universal had a lot of holdback. Yeah. So I think now that they have full, if that rumor is true and they do have a lot of full reign, they can do a lot more. And now that we're seeing that some of the Disney execs are kind of pulling back and be like, all right, you know what y'all are doing, you have your support. You don't need us to tell you what to do. You just, Kevin, you do what you see fit, So now with that, I was on the talk of Dracula potentially being one of the villains that's going to appear in the Moon Knight series, and I was telling them I was excited for that because if it is, we can see some of the hilarious scenes that while Moon Knight is definitely a hardcore badass, like no holds barred kind of hero, kind of like Punisher, he's absolutely gullible and falls for some of the stupidest shit. And one of my favorite scenes I was telling them about when he broke into Dracula's castle and said, "You fucking nerd, where's my money?" I was trying to shake down Dracula. And then and I was telling him the other scene is when he hacked into the Avengers headquarters supercomputer, and they were just like, "It's Moon Knight." He's like, "Where's my goddamn money?" He's like, "No one here owes you money, you drunk crazy asshole. Dracula isn't even on the Avengers, so stop calling here." That's what Spider-Man said. And he literally hung up, and he's just like, "Wait, Dracula isn't an Avenger? That line? Fuck." Like,
yeah, he got him.
Yeah.
He finessed him.
Yeah. It just makes me laugh because, Moon Knight falls for so much stupid bullshit that's why his interactions with Deadpool is hilarious.
It's supposed to be a movie, correct? Or a show?
A TV show.
That's a TV show? Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
And it's coming on Disney Plus or?
I believe it's Disney Plus. I believe they said, and that's what I'm saying is that they need to really kind of either one hold no holds bar back with what they're going to be doing with Moon Knight and Blade, or they need to move it from Disney Plus and put it on Hulu, because that's what I was saying. Those are two heroes that are very, very much Deadpool.
It's kind of hard to explain who Moon Knight is because he is like multiple people, honestly.
Yeah, I was like, Moon Knight was, to give a quick rundown, Moon Knight was a Jewish American soldier, I believe in Vietnam, who died or was captured in Egypt and was used as a sacrifice to become the vessel of vengeance for the goddess Khonshu. And basically, Khonshu says, you are to do my will and take down whoever I deem. Outside of that, do as you wish. And Moon Knight just basically runs around and just punches people in the face and does whatever the hell Moon Knight wants to do while using the powers of the goddess Khonshu.
Yeah, and he has it's where he's like a mix between Batman, Legion, Deadpool, and who was the other person?
I would say the no holds back of Punisher.
Yeah.
And we made the joke.
And he fights like they could. Hopefully they go like like the OG route and like he's not fighting like these like super villain. He's fighting like supernatural.
Yeah, he's fighting the supernatural just like Blade does. I was like, he's one of the big people who bring in the supernatural element to the MCU. So like I said, he fights Dracula.
He's a Constantine kind of.
Yeah,
he's
him.
like a part of like the dark universe of the MCU. Kind of.
Yeah, him, Moon Knight, Blade, and I would even say Doctor Strange are basically the Justice League Dark of the MCU. They're the ones who are very in tune with all the supernatural goings on.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. Lemon, if you're trying to get on Discord, if you're on your computer, open the Discord app and then click on the Smash Podcast page, and then you should see the room where you see we're in a call or for the podcast, and you should be able to just hop in. If not, at least just join the waiting room and I'll pull you in. If you're on your phone, open the app.
Yeah, he's kind of, but not. He's kind of like Goblin, but not really to extent. Like he actually really has multiple personalities.
Yeah.
I think Goblin just had that evil voice in his head.
Yeah, he definitely did.
But we'll see how it goes, you know.
Absolutely. I was like, I hope that those are the two characters that I really hope that they do really well with, because if you look at the supernatural and everything, I was like, between Doctor Strange and Blade, and then bringing in potentially, now bringing in Moon Knight, I was like, you add, they really bring back the Punisher after a lot of things, and I was like, if they really bring back Ghost Rider, like I really wish they stuck with Robbie Reyes as Ghost Rider from that they did in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yes, because Robbie Reyes, they did him so well, and people don't give that Ghost Rider enough credit for what they did in the TV show. I know a lot of people hate Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but Robbie Reyes' version of Ghost Rider was so well written, so well portrayed. I really wish that they would stick with him and bring him forward, because he was supposed to have his own TV series, and then they canned it. I really want them to bring it back or give him a movie, because he is well done and can stand. He really can. And if you bring him in, having now Moon Knight and then Blade, you already have Doctor Strange, and if they bring back Punisher or anything from like what we saw with John Burke now from the Netflix series, and are able to maintain him, you have the potential right there to have the Midnight Suns. Like the Midnight Suns is perfect to have that supernatural entity hunting team up. I was like, because we already know that they're working on their, they already showed off a lot of the females and stuff like that, and we're going to have other groups showing up. We know that they set down the precedent for the Heroes for Hire with the Netflix series with Luke Cage and everything before they shut that down. And there's talks about them either bringing back those characters and redoing them, or kind of picking it up and just moving it to Netflix, which they should do, and bring back those teams. There's so many other things that they could do that would be great. Like they had set up the foundations for Daughters of the Dragon with Colleen Wing and our girl Misty Knight, that fine ass woman.
Yeah, I like it, but yeah, we will never get it. Ever. Who knows? We might.
We might. Maybe. Listen, I was like, listen, Kevin Feige, we're talking to you right now. Make these come back, make it happen. I was like, you have so much potential right now. I was like, consult us. We know what we're talking about. I was like, you got the comic book king right there, who be picking up comics every week. He knows what he's talking about. Ain't that right?
Yes, I do.
Yes, you do. All right. Now, with that being said, we're gonna hit some. We're gonna jump from one side of Disney and hop on over to the other, because we're moving on to Star Wars. I was like, and specifically, there's two specific things of Star Wars news that we want to talk about. So first off, we're not going to go into episode 9 details. We're going to wait till we can get the full group for all that. But There was some key
I'm
parts.
actually gonna be honest. I don't know if we ever gonna get the full group.
Well, I'm gonna say at least whenever we can get G and Ott back in here to at least talk about it. Kofi's gonna have to be doing baby duty and be changing diapers and wiping ass for a while.
Yeah.
But episode 9, we're gonna hold off on that. But there's some things that were really heavily confirmed thanks to episode 9, and the biggest thing is that they made the Knights of the Old Republic, Darth Revan, Darth Malak, and Darth Plagueis, and a lot of that classic legacy Star Wars from before Disney acquired, now officially canon, that they started planting the seeds thanks to the Star Wars Clone Wars TV show and Rebels. Well, now a lot more of that has now been placed as canon, and there's 2 things that come with that. One is that there's, after the, however you feel about episode 9, whether you like it, you hate it, or whatever, there's talks that Kathleen Kennedy is no longer going to be overseeing Star Wars. A lot of people did not like Kathleen Kennedy because that they said that J.J. Abrams' Star Wars was just nostalgia-fueled bullshit, and some people are starting to really realize what Rian Johnson was trying to do with Episode 8, which I really liked Last Jedi. I liked that he was being experimental with it, but there were issues with it. I won't deny that. But they need to step out of that nostalgia trip. But a lot of that was from Kathleen Kennedy's involvement.
People really don't understand like J.J. Abrams like track record. He is put on remakes and does nothing but nostalgia feel like scenes.
Wonder
He
Trips.
did it with Star Trek. He did it with so many remade films. It doesn't make any sense why. Like understand business why you would put JJ on it, because it's a win kind of, but it doesn't do that for like when we got like a series that's 20 years old.
Yeah, almost 40. Yeah, almost 40 years.
So it's crazy that like what they should have did honestly is Kathleen should have just went in there with a written plan, but she did not. And like,
yeah,
and that was honestly her fault. Like, fine, you put J.J. Abrams on it, but he had to do all 3 films at least, or like at least have them somewhat on a rail, like where they can't have full freedom. Full freedom for this isn't good enough. It wasn't good because you saw what happened. Like everybody was just doing whatever.
Oh yeah. I'll say, and that was the problem with everything that they were doing, is that they could have been doing so much more. But the thing is, Kathleen really did not have any sort of set plan or anything, and she just kind of let them go all over. And because of that, there was no guidance, there was no set ideas, there was nothing. I was like, they just kind of ran all over the place with it.
Like you can honestly feel that JJ and Ryan have beef against each other. You can just honestly tell.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And you could feel it. Like they don't agree on some aspects of filmmaking, and they could completely take over what they did in their said film.
Yeah, and that's why it's like a lot of people were so caught up on the nostalgia is a hell of a drug from episode 7 that they didn't realize what Ryan was trying to do with episode 8 and reimagine things. He wanted to add new powers, new abilities, and do things. Yes, there were plot holes, yes, there were threads and things like that, but he had to go off of what was established in episode 7 and things like that. But he was trying to be different with it.
He was being
experimental.
I really think he was. It might sound crazy, but it seems like he was getting to the point of like, all right, because there's three ways of the Force, of course. There's the Sith, the Gray, and then the Jedi, whatever. Mm-hmm. So I really think he was might have been building up to the Gray. Honestly, I'm gonna be real.
Absolutely.
Because it feels like he like Luke and everybody, like they were learning from their past, and like we can't go fully in doubt. Like we can't just like believe all in the Force, because sometimes we're like that's even wrong sometimes, because he like Luke was gonna kill Kylo. All right, what's his name? Kylo.
Yeah, he was gonna kill Kylo in his sleep.
Yeah, and like he learned that was legit stupid.
And then when I was like, and the thing about it too is that I was like, what people hated about that is just like, well, we saw all this, and it's just like, well, he sensed the dark side in him, but he knew that things had to be different. I was like, and we saw that we had that same flashback 3 different times, and had that, hey, not everyone is a perfect narrator, because there was a whole lot going on, and a lot of people saying, well, that's stupid. It's like, no, that's called.
No, that's life.
That's storytelling. Yeah, I was like,
that's legit.
No one complained about that. Think about that. No one complained about that in the Joker film, right? Is that not everything is completely as we see it?
Yeah, you're not gonna. You can't tell. Like, you're always gonna see different perspectives. Like, perfect example. Like when Kylo, he woke up, all he seen was a lightsaber on.
Yeah.
And like, why does Luke have his lightsaber on?
Yeah, he's like,
in my bedroom while I'm asleep.
Exactly, and you don't realize that it
so
wasn't until
he
later
can't
that we.
explain it.
Yeah, and it wasn't until later that we learned that Luke was fighting with himself about what he had to do.
And he realized what he was doing was wrong, but Kylo already turned around and seen it. So like,
yep. I was like, and
honest, there could have been so many. There's a lot of plot holes, but that's not one.
Oh yeah, no. It was one of those things that there was a lot of experimentation with Episode 8, and a lot of people are starting to kind of see that thanks to the failure and how people feel about 9.
And Jay, listen, Ray, like I love the actor. He is beautiful, but like Ray in general is just terrible. Like she's terrible. I never thought I would actually call somebody a Mary Sue, but like Jesus, like that's the Mary Sue I've ever seen. Like I have never seen, like she's the first main character to never get injured.
Yeah.
Ever. Like I don't even know if she was ever stabbed or cut with a saber.
No, she's not. And I agree. I can understand that, Sleepy. You don't like characters who are hand to power on the plate. That's completely understandable. Like I said, Last Jedi had its issues, but I appreciate what Rian Johnson was trying to do. He was trying to make it stand out and be its own thing. And
I'm saying, and then honestly, even the Last Jedi, Ryan at least tried to give us like a training arc, like.
Try to give us something, yeah. He tried to do something different. I was like, but a lot of people
give us something like, all right, maybe like if Luke trains her, we can like explain why she's so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Or like actually, like now we know why she can do such like blah blah blah. Like,
and think about when he was training her, like how she found that part of the island that drew her in.
She went straight to the dark.
Yeah, he's like you didn't even hold back. You just went into it. And then that whole scene right there when she went to that part of the island and then found that stone that revealed part of herself and helped to reveal her inner desires and things like that and everything. They used that same scene in Jedi Fallen Order in the game, and people will praise that scene but don't even realize that that's exactly what Rian Johnson used. He knew what he was doing and people are not giving him credit for it. Like I said, there were issues with that film, yes, but there was so much, and you go back to when that movie first came out, I defended it because there was so many scenes that were done well and that were aspects that were done right.
Remember what I said when I first saw The Rise of Skywalker? I said, Rise of Skywalker is a better looking film. It looks like you can just sit down and mindlessly watch it. And you're like, whatever, I just turn it on for ambient noise or whatever.
Yeah.
But The Last Jedi is the better overall film.
Yeah. Why?
It's no competition. Of course, there's some faults with Last Jedi, like Luke throwing his lightsaber, his dad's lightsaber. And stuff like that, but overall, it's a better overall film. Like you can actually see the pacing of that of Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker. That shit it just hits the fan. Like they threw shit at a fan, and it's going everywhere inside that room.
Yeah. See, I like the Force projection, and I was like, you gotta think that he was doing that halfway across the galaxy. A lot of people hated the Force projection, be like, oh, though the chosen one, Luke Skywalker, died of a heart attack because he wore himself out. I was like, yeah, but you don't realize how much of the Force that he had to use to manipulate himself from halfway across the galaxy. All right, I was like that takes a lot, and
but
he
that-
gave himself to
but-
the Force. When he died, he gave himself to the Force.
But let's be real. That scene right there is pointless. Why didn't he just travel and he should have went out like with a badass exit. And
Alright.
that wasn't that people weren't upset that he died. People were upset the way he died.
Oh yeah, I'll say that. Yeah.
If he'd have went to the planet that they were on and fought them and then died because it like he used too much energy. All right, fine.
Keep talking for a second.
But this man sat on a like you do force projection to like not die. This man died. Like it was just that whole scene pissed me off because we know like people been waiting for Luke to come back to show how badass he is, and they didn't show none of that. They didn't show it like a bitter old man. And I know Mark is sick. I know Mark Hamill was sick because it's very disappointing. Like he built that character up so much, and like the fans loved that character so much. He could at least went off with like a badass exit, like destroying all the walkers, making Kylo look like a little ass kid, and then like it could have been so easy. But they just wanted to get that man. You know what? Screw it. Let's just have this old man.
I mean,
away.
yeah, I mean, I get where you're coming from on how they could have taken him out, but I feel like I respect what they did with him. Like, cause I like I said, there was things in that film that were done right on how they could have set up, but a lot of people weren't giving enough credit to what they were trying to do. And Samurai, thank you so much for that host over there on Mixer, my man. Actor got old. How do you make it cool? I mean, it could be done many different ways. Sleepy Goblin. But guys, you already know what it is. He showed up finally. He was able to get into the building. We had to walk through that troubleshooting steps to get him on that PC because he's got to learn that Discord. But the man himself, the man who's always sour but keeps it proven, makes you pucker up with his truth so that way you can deal with it. When 107 is not enough, that's right. It is 108 Dragons TV, the leader of the crime Freeman. What's good, big brother Lametheus?
Hold on, I think his mic is server muted. I'm about to unmute it.
I think he's.
It was good.
There he is.
I'm not muted.
Oh, he had his mic.
You was muted on the server side.
Oh yeah, he had his mic muted, but he unmuted it now. Now he is
Good,
in
people.
the building.
What's good? What's good?
What is good, big
Always
brother?
love this man's content. I was watching the whole time, man. My daughter gonna kick my tail, but I'm gonna give y'all a few. I'm gonna give you some time, and then I gotta go.
That's fine, man. Always whenever you're able to
So
drop
either I
in.
gotta learn, or I gotta talk. Either way, I'm in the building. Facts.
Absolutely. But to pick up where we were talking about that Star Wars, where we kind of trailed off a little bit. But Kathleen Kennedy, supposedly rumored she's getting pulled away from overseeing Star Wars, and they're gonna put someone new intact. And they're stepping away from the Skywalker series. After this one, they're not gonna be doing any more with the Skywalker saga. They're letting that whole era kind of sit. And right now there's talks that the next trilogy, which has me excited, has us, because we've talked about this in the past, is that the new trilogy of films, whenever they come out, is supposed to be taking place during the High Republic era. And if you don't know about the High Republic era, that is another term for the Old Republic. That's right, we are going back to the Knights of the Old Republic era, the time when the Sith were more than two, when they were a full-on group and their own entity and body of government opposing the style of the Republic and the Jedi. So there were more than two Sith always, just like there were multiple Jedis. And the fact is, this was supposed to be taking place supposedly during the rise and era of Darth Revan and Darth Malak. And if you have never played the Knights of the Old Republic games, Darth Malak and Darth Revan were actually some of the first fallen Jedi to really convert to the Sith and really kind of start guiding a new era of Sith and changes amongst the Jedi Order. Now, if this is true, especially after they confirmed with Episode 9 that Darth Revan and all of them are now officially canon, now we may actually get to see a movie version of Darth Revan, his early days in the Jedi, and may even see his fall and what happened during the Mandalorian Wars when the Jedi refused to go and help stop the Mandalorians from trying to fight and take over so many planets in the Outer Rim, and what caused him and Malik to fall and become the Darth Lords that they were known for. So I'm real excited with the possibilities of this. I want to know your thoughts. You know what, One Away Dragon? I know you're as much as a Star Wars fan as I am, so let me know, what are your thoughts on this big brother?
Yo, let me tell you, man. It's good that they're getting away from the Skywalker saga, you know, because they kind of messed it up.
Kind of.
I want to go light.
Okay.
I want to destroy my people, but maybe we need to see something fresh that's never done before, and most people don't know about this era of the Old Republic. It might be a good look, you know. I'll look forward to anything Star Wars. I did enjoy that last movie. I'm sorry to say, but I did enjoy it.
Hey, Rogue One is still probably one of my favorites.
I like Rogue One too. I even like
Han Solo.
Yeah, I liked Han Solo.
Han Solo did have a lot of potential. I was like, the only thing about it that kind of annoyed me is that they made Han Solo the good boy from the get-go, when I was like, no, he was a bit of a scoundrel, and he had that change over. Yeah, he was an asshole in the early days.
No, he was an asshole in that. You know,
But they tried to make him a lot better.
Be trusted. No, they made it. It was a fun movie.
It was a fun movie. Don't get me wrong.
It's not a dark movie. He's not a dark person. It kind of that character was basically what Han Solo was when he was young in the first three episodes. Let's just be real here. Han Solo didn't take nothing serious.
They should have went to, like, you know, in the movie, like, what turned him into an asshole for, like.
Yeah. I mean, but you got 2.5 hours, and they got to do what they got to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they got to make it for the masses.
Yeah. Yes. Sleepy. Han shot first. Han shot first always.
I did enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to something brand new and fresh. And let me talk to my Star Wars fans out there. I did not like the last 3 as much as the first 6, because they made Skywalker, who was supposed to be the baddest dude in the galaxy after defeating the Emperor and Darth Vader, they made him a punk. They made him tap out early. You know what I'm saying? So
that was the prodigal family, like. But,
right. Yeah. They like King Jedis, and he was hiding and tapped out, and I
liked him in the Last Jedi. I was like, but I liked him in the Last Jedi. Like I said, I like Last Jedi. I'll stand by that. But Force Awakens was just basically a repeat of A New Hope. I was like, we all saw that. I was like, it gave the nostalgia trip, but it didn't do anything new or spectacular. The only thing new that it did was, you know,
then, like,
the fractal. The
Skywalker was just the what is it?
The Return of the Jedi.
Strike Back. Oh no, Return of the Jedi. Yeah.
Return of the Jedi. You know what? The Emperor in the comic books has always cloned himself and been able to survive. After that.
We understand. Yeah, we understand.
Not that you don't understand, but people don't know that.
Oh yeah, no, people don't know that. Well, if you play the campaign of Battlefront 2, that was one of the first things that they said is that
I think that's not the issue. I think the issue is, like, they didn't spend, like, 'cause, you know, they recently came out with, like, an article saying that they were going to explain that, but they cut it out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. You know why? Because it's editing. Yep. It's editing.
And Sleepy
pretty
said
sure they get a Richard Donner cut, but you know that's a.
But you also gotta realize it's Disney, and they are very slimy sometimes. So you're gonna get books and you're gonna get comics.
So,
that goes for anything when you got the hardcore crowd following something. Mm-hmm. Like I always say, they can't stick to the comics. They can't stick to the books. They gotta take a story and they gotta build around it. You're never gonna be 5,000% happy because there's so much happening, and they gotta do this in 2.5 hours.
Oh yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
so
but-
much.
I understand it, but they also could have went the Avengers route because this is as big as the Avengers. Star Wars is just as big as the Avengers, and
Okay.
they could have.
You mean Star Wars? You mean Avengers is just as big as Star Wars? Let's not get that twisted.
Well, yeah, exactly. So that
But-
means remember everybody like the Endgame, not Endgame. What was it? Infinity War was supposed to be one movie at first,
Right? But guess
and
what?
they said nope, we're making it 2 parts because we can't fit everything in
Right,
one film.
right.
That's what they should have did with this. That's what they should have did with the Rise of Skywalker.
But I'm gonna say this for the record. Infinity War ain't the goddamn story. Either.
Yeah, no, it was
I
more
know,
it was
yeah,
more
I know.
They took the
Infinity Gauntlet.
characters. They took the characters. They took some of the story, and they added and subtracted, and made a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Okay, it happened.
But I
Because
agree.
the Rise of
But they,
Skywalker
but
is
they've
not
been
a
doing
bad
that.
movie. It's not a
But
bad
they've
movie.
been they kind of it's a good looking movie, but it's bad if you're
I'm
like
gonna tell you,
if you're a huge Star Wars fan. It's
Okay,
bad if you're a huge
okay.
Star Wars fan.
Most Star Wars fans don't know what we talking about. You can't think like a hardcore Star Wars fan because Star Wars don't appeal to the hardcore.
But that's
Star
what I'm saying.
Wars is a mass market game. I mean, movie.
If you're like I said, if you're a hardcore Star Wars fan, it's a bad movie.
But if you're hardcore for any movie that makes after the comics or a book, you're not happy. No matter what
That's
the
not-
genre
but that's
is,
not-
you
that's-
only got 2 hours.
That's not true, though.
to work
That's
with
not
2.5
true.
hours. Okay, let's say the Avengers, the first one, right? No, let's take Ant-Man. Is that the story?
Of course not. But like,
Okay, then.
it's
So-
but it's
Was
but
it
the
a
thing
good
is,
movie though? Was it a good movie?
It was a great movie because we
What
like
was
we.
it the story?
But that's the thing. That's like they didn't have 20 years of build up from Ant-Man.
True indeed. I'm not knocking it, but I'm just giving you an example. We
I
all know
totally-
that's not the story.
They
But they made a
totally
great
get
movie
that.
out of it.
And yes, but like
That's
the thing
not
is,
how it ended.
This is the end of a trilogy. Like this is the end of a fucking a franchise right here. This is the end of a series, a saga.
True indeed.
Yep.
So they got six films, and then you can't end it like that, fam. I'm sorry.
Well, they had to do something.
Listen, they had to do something with what they had. I understand. Like, so.
And I'm gonna say this: you only
the
can
thing is,
compare
I don't-
Star. Hold on. You only can compare Star Wars to itself. There's
I
no.
agree.
Other, it's not like it's second to another series.
I
It's like
agree.
Harry Potter. You only compare Harry Potter to itself, The Matrix to itself, The Lord of the Rings to itself. Those are great series. You don't have to like every movie.
I don't like
don't.
the thing is I don't blame that. I don't blame the directors or anything. I don't blame JJ Ryan or the guy that quit, the guy that they fired that was supposed to be on Rise of Skywalker, and then JJ came back. I blame Kathleen Kennedy and Bob Iger because they went in there with no set plan. They just said, you know what, we just gonna make a Star Wars film. Y'all just come up with scripts.
Yep.
So it's their fault.
Yep. Agreed.
I'm not, but I didn't dislike the movie. I wasn't
I think-
anal
like,
enough to go in there and said it was garbage because it wasn't garbage. Because it was
like,
garbage
yeah, but
compared to what other series that ended it. What other series? You understand what I'm saying? Like, we still talking about an epic movie. We're just comparing it to what we know and its own self. Just like
But
a video game. You can
but
only
that's-
people didn't like
that's-
Judgment and Gears, but Gears compared to the rest of the market, Gears Judgment compared to the rest of the market of gaming was still phenomenal. You just only can compare it to Gears 1, 2, and 3.
But
You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying, right?
I totally get what you're saying. But like, if you want to compare it to the rest of the Gears, it's trash.
Right.
So-
but it ain't a trash game. It's just trash compared
Yeah,
to
of
what
course,
we
yeah,
used to.
it's not
There
like
you go.
it's not no C like rated like film. It's of course it's nowhere close to that. But it's
Right.
a trash Star.
Right.
Wars
It's
film.
just that the Star Wars fans deserves more and a
Yeah.
better ending. I get that. I get that. But we have to say that. We got to say it out loud so people understand. Because a lot of people don't understand.
Yeah,
Like we the
of course,
hardcore. They don't understand why we saying
the
what we
film.
say.
The film looks amazing. Sometimes you can't tell what's CG and what's not. So like,
And it was the most action-packed Star Wars movie I've ever seen.
Exactly. The only I'm like, yeah, it had great fight scenes, and the only other scene that compares to that is the end fight on Mustafar, or Mustafar, whatever.
Yeah, Mustafar. Yep. Agreed.
That's the only fight that compares to that.
Yep.
But it is good. Get back to the subject. It is good that they're exploring another era that most people don't know about, so it's fresh to more mind. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't even know much about that era.
And what I love about it is that during the High Republic era, is the fact that we we're able to kind of see more of that era. Like I said, we get to see more of Darth Malak, Darth Revan, and how they are now officially canon, kind of that rise of the Sith era, and what eventually leads to the fall of the Sith, because then you have Darth Bane and his creation of the Rule of Two, and that is one of the most significant things that people don't know about, is what is the Rule of Two. Everyone knows that there's always two Sith, but when people see the Old Republic, they're not going to know why there's so many different Sith Jedi or Dark Jedi going on all at the same time and everything like that. It wasn't until that Darth Bane created the Rule of Two that he killed all the Sith and took on just one apprentice, and said that too many Sith are dangerous to the Sith because of the fact that they'll never get stronger. All they'll have is numbers. The only way for the Sith to ever be powerful is that there should always be one master and one apprentice. And when his apprentice tried to take on an apprentice and rise against him, he killed his apprentice and then took that apprentice's apprentice as his own, who eventually set up a secret apprentice and then eventually killed him because of the fact that they were stronger than him at that point. And he said that's the only way for the Sith to ever be stronger. And I think once we see that establishment, a lot of people have more respect on why there are always two Sith.
Well,
I honestly,
there's only one time there hasn't been two Sith. Technically, Darth Vader was not a Sith. Y'all know that, right?
why would you? Yeah.
Darth Vader was not a Sith.
Well,
Darth Vader was the angry ass Jedi.
but
He technically was not a Sith.
well, when he gave him to the dark side and almost killed Padme.
He did give himself to the dark side, though.
Yeah, he did. He became a Sith after he started hunting down the Jedi.
After he let Luke see his face, that's when he came back.
Yeah.
Well, technically,
Remember,
he was hurt. Padawan died,
Well,
and he went crazy. He was crazy.
Well, yes,
He's really not a Sith. He went crazy.
But
well, he did. No, he did.
Power himself.
Yeah, but he did. He was and he wasn't.
But if you using anger, you kind of Sith. Like,
Yeah, you give into your emotions. I was like, when he was told that Padme was dead, that's when he lost
him alive
himself.
in that suit, to be real, like, because he wasn't really like,
Because
like, that suit wasn't not like
What was
adequate for him.
Samuel Jackson's character?
Mace Windu.
Mace Windu.
Mace Windu was
Gave it to
played
his
in
anger too.
He did.
No,
he
but
played
he-
Queen.
but
He's more. He was the closest to being a great Jedi than anything.
No,
Yeah,
well,
true.
he mastered understanding the darker emotions
He came up with
because
his own. He came up with his own
fighting style. Yeah, that utilized the dark side, but he never gave into it. He just knew how
Yeah,
to
he never was.
utilize
You never
it.
seen. The only reason why they thought Mace Windu might go to the dark side is because he loved fighting. He never was angry though.
Oh yeah.
He was the baddest fighter.
I was gonna say the other one who's the closest great Jedi was Qui-Gon Jinn. Qui-Gon Jinn understood
Qui-Gon
that
Jinn.
you needed to have
Yeah.
emotions. That's
It's
what he
like,
taught Obi-Wan.
People really don't understand. Mace Windu was like he was the first youngest person to be a
Jedi master
on the council.
Yeah.
He on the
Yeah.
council, and then it was Anakin.
Yeah. Well, Anakin became one of the youngest Jedi masters, second to Obi-Wan, but he was never made one of the council members. A lot of people feel like if
Obi-Wan
he
was never really that powerful though.
well, Obi-Wan was skilled as
he
a
was
fighter.
wise.
No, that's Qui-Gon. That was Qui-Gon. Obi-Wan, he was decent. He was
He was
kind of
decent,
he-
right?
Yeah. But Qui-Gon
But
was supposed to be a part of the council, but because of the fact that he was more of one of the real first grade Jedis, because of the fact that he's just like, hey, look, he's like, you can't just give yourself over to order. He's like, you have to
was the one
understand.
that always looked like listen, if you got a problem, go to the books. That's it. Go to the books.
Yeah, he's like, understanding your emotions is one thing,
and that's why like the like, you know, the council and everything didn't like that, because that's when they started getting affected by the, you know, the like the secret Siths and shit like that. So
yeah, I was like, Qui-Gon was one of the first great Jedis, and that's what he taught Obi-Wan, and they didn't like that all the time.
But he wasn't the first grade, but he
was one of the
he was
one of, yeah, he was the closest one that we got to see on screen. Yeah, but if you read a lot of the books and things like that that are still canon, that was right around that time, Qui-Gon is a great Jedi, absolutely.
I love Star Wars. I don't care.
Oh yeah, I love Star Wars.
Listen,
I just ordered one of those lightsabers.
I absolutely love Star Wars.
I was like, if I go to Disneyland Adventure,
the world building is A1. Just everything about Star Wars is amazing. It's just hard to like just to see what they do with it on. Like the Mandalorian, I love it. I absolutely.
The Mandalorian craps
You know
on
what's
everything
crazy?
done in the last 3 films.
What?
I didn't expect nothing out of the Mandalorian.
I didn't either. I'm gonna be real. I didn't either.
I knew it. I knew the origins of Boba Fett and all that, and his people and everything. And I watched it like, you know, open-ended. You know what I'm saying? It's like what I went into Captain Marvel. I don't know about the character.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really read no comic books. Wasn't really into it. Went into the movie. I enjoyed the movie. It could have been better. I still enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
That don't make, because the hardcore hated the movie, but they're not trying to get you. They're trying to get me.
Yeah.
The casual. You know what I'm saying? I know about the Hulk. I don't like the Hulk character in Endgame. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? Because
Jay Slater also brought up a good
hardcore
point.
Hulk dude.
Hang on. Jay Slater brought up a good point. He said Vader is a Sith. When you accept the dark side, you become a Sith. Because in his mind, he created two personalities. There was Vader and Anakin. He said Anakin was the reason that everything happened to him, and everything happened to Padme. He killed Anakin in his own mind. Yeah.
That's why he moved to that place that was like, it was just like deserted, full of volcanic.
I'm gonna say why he wasn't a Sith, and I want you to pay attention to my theory. Everything when the Emperor says something, right? Remember through all 3 of the Star Wars movies, he always had that point where somebody said, well, the Emperor said, and he said, well, I said this, that, and the third. How many times did he second guess the Emperor during the first 3 movies? Because he was doing it.
No.
The Emperor wanted him to do something, and he told those generals.
But because he also know, but the thing is, he doesn't care about Palpatine. He low-key hates the Palpatine. He hates him. But the thing is,
and Darth Maul was doing everything he said.
No, Palpatine was working under Count Dooku.
Because Darth Maul was raised by Palpatine since he was young, like he was a baby.
Right.
But the thing is, Palpatine tricked Anakin.
Right.
He turned to the dark. But he turned to the dark side because he had nothing else to live for, and he was angry, and I gotta stay alive. And he's going to make sure he's going to kill Obi-Wan. That was his whole. He wanted to kill Obi-Wan.
Really couldn't though. Obi-Wan was.
I understand it, but he wanted to kill him.
That was his drive. Was his hatred of Obi-Wan. That was the reason he was a Sith. It don't care if he didn't like Palpatine. That's even more of a reason why he was a Sith, because the fact that the apprentice eventually hates the master because they want what he has.
And it all plays together because Obi-Wan, you know where Obi-Wan he hid on Anakin's home planet, and Anakin he wouldn't go back there because he felt like it would bring back old connection, and he's connected to the dark side.
And it would make him think of Shmi. I was like, it would make him think of his mother.
I just think he was torn between two, and he never made a real decision.
But I would say the thing is, once you get them dark bags under your eyes, you a Sith.
Oh yeah, you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong there.
You get them dark bags, your eyes start turning yellow. You a Sith, all the way.
All the way on that one. I absolutely agree with that.
Like perfect example, Kylo wasn't a Sith at all. He was a crybaby.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kylo is not a Sith either.
I was like, but he also never had a Darth name.
That too. I said he's definitely not a Sith. There was nothing Sith about him. He was making childish decisions.
His thing was that he was angry and
He wanted to be something he wasn't.
He touched into the dark side, right? He touched into the dark side, but he was never a Sith because he never fully gave in, because he still had those thoughts where
those ties.
No, it wasn't even the ties, because remember, he even killed his own dad. It was the fact that he always had those thoughts of, he's like, am what I'm doing really what I want?
Once he did that, he instantly regretted it, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
He had those ties. He killed Han Solo. Yo, his
To try
next
to flex.
escape was
He tried to flex.
Yes, it was like, listen, I gotta get this chick. She's supposed to be next to my side. He fell in love with somebody he didn't even know. Because he was hurt.
And then at that point, everybody, he basically he's on a main stage with Han in front of him. They like, if he don't kill him, then what? Like,
he was torn, and he never completely changed. He was more hurt that Luke Skywalker tried to kill him.
Yeah, that's it.
That was his problem.
Honestly,
that's what his problem was. He was hurt that his uncle tried to smoke him.
And so he took the words of Snoke and let that hatred kind of go into him, but he touched into the dark side, but he always had those battling feelings. He was the true he had true battling conflictions. I was like, Vader didn't have conflictions until
None.
Nothing.
No, but that's what I'm saying, is that right there is what he's talking about.
Remember what Snoke told him?
No.
I always knew you couldn't completely cross over. You are weak.
Yeah, but that's what we're saying, is that Kylo always had those conflictions. Remember, he had a clear shot that he could have killed his mother if he wanted to, but he didn't. I was like, he could have done everything, but he had those conflicting feelings every time. When Vader cut off Luke's hand, he didn't care at that point. He was just trying to convince him. He's just like, look, I'm gonna do to you what happened to me. It wasn't until he was almost weakened and he really looked into the eyes of his son that he realized, he's like, I could be better. In episode 4 and episode 5, he didn't care. He tried to convince him. He didn't really show his conflicting feelings as a father until he was nearly dead, and he watched his son being electrocuted.
Cut off his son's hand, bro.
Yeah. You know what? It's easy to cut it off when you know you can replace it.
Exactly. But he was cold about it. He was cold about it. He didn't care at that point. I was like, if it wasn't for the fact of he watching his son almost be electrocuted and realize that really is his flesh and blood, that's when he stepped in and had that moment. But every moment up to that, he didn't care. He didn't even know that Leia was his daughter, and he was about to. He had killed everyone around Leia and everything without a second thought. He snapped generals' necks like nothing. You cannot say that is not a Sith. You cannot. No.
He's an angry person.
No.
He was an angry person, and if you divide him, you're getting the snappeth of deatheth.
That's exactly a Sith, though.
Nah, you don't gotta be a Sith to be pissed off. He was angry about everything.
That's the very foundation of the Sith and the dark side of the Force, is giving into your emotions like that, though. That's what we're saying.
Luke was emotional too.
Well, yes,
and Yoda was training him.
And what did Yoda tell him? And what did Yoda tell him?
That's a Skywalker trait. They all emotional.
And look exactly what happened when he gave into his emotions and his fear and his hatred. He cut down that mirage of himself. That's why he saw himself in it. And Yoda said, "You're not ready." He's like, "You do not know control," and that's what he meant.
No control.
That's why he was saying you gave into the dark side. That's what leads you down to the Sith.
I get it, but I think that's a Skywalker problem.
You're probably not wrong. Yeah, Sleepy the Emperor is a badass. Dark side is side of emotion, though. Yeah. Yes, it is. If you kill with no emotion, is that technically dark? If you kill with no emotion, god damn it, Sleepy. All right, but like I said, with the fact that they're looking at the Old Republic era, I think that's a great thing to kind of look for. Like I really can't wait to see what they do and get away from everything that we know with the Skywalkers, because there's so many others. There's so many other great Sith Lords that have such a big thing, and other Jedi Masters and everything across history. And kind of going to the Old Republic, I think, is going to be one of the best things that they can do to kind of separate from everything else.
I can't wait. We get rid of these OP powerful planet buster ships and just go straight like
Old
guns
school,
and
lights,
Yeah.
blasters and lightsabers. I was like, you're talking about back in the High Republic. That's when there was like plenty of trained Dark Jedi who were wanting to join the Sith. So there was like hundreds of Dark Jedi, and you had hundreds of regular Jedi, and they would fight it out on a battlefield. And then of course you'd have all your stormtroopers, or not stormtroopers. You'd have Imperial Sith who are trained with marksmen and blasters and stuff like that. And then you had the Republic commandos and stuff like that who were actually, you know, guardians of the Republic who were trained with blasters and stuff like that. That was when it was all good. I was like, so I think it's gonna be a much different take, and it's gonna be much different, and I'm excited for it.
I love every Star Wars movie.
Oh, I'm saying I love every Star Wars movie too.
Star Wars, and we get to see another situation played out that we ain't gotta read. I love every Star Wars movie. I don't like every Star Wars movie, but as a whole saga, I love all of it. Some people was mad that they had to show the love story with Anakin and Padme. How you gonna be mad how the twins was born? They gotta show it.
Yep.
I didn't want to see no love story. Well, how you think they got here? They didn't. It wasn't I Dream a Genie and somebody snapped their fingers. You had to show the background.
Yep.
You know, some people didn't like what's that ant, that creature? What's his name? The water creature.
The water creature.
The one that was talking.
Oh,
Jar
Jar Binks. Oh yeah, the
Jar
Gungan.
Jar Binks. Like, you know, some people are just anal, but you got to see how they was brought together. You got to see the love story. You got to see how they were separated, and you got to see how Darth Vader was created. You got to see how he became half a man and half a machine. You got to see why he changed. You got to see Palpatine manipulate the system. Because when you first see the first episodes, you don't know what the hell they're rebels for, but it shows you. And so every movie adds to the Star Wars saga, whether you like it or not. It is telling a good story.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, every Harry Potter was not acclaimed. Some people didn't like part 5. I love the whole series as a whole. You know what I'm saying?
But there
It
are
was
weak
fantastic.
films within itself. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Nothing's going to be perfect. Nothing's going to be perfect.
See, personally, I was like, the worst one for me was Goblet of Fire, the 4th film. I didn't like Goblet of Fire at all. I was like, but I understand what it set up for. That showed the return and rise of Voldemort for his return in Order of the Phoenix in the 5th film. I was like, it was necessary for Harry to see that the Dark Lord's back and everything that came in the later films, because before it was all just setting up, you know, we're kind of seeing everyone first showing up that had ties to that past. You know, Prisoner of Azkaban with the 3rd film showed the return of Sirius, and everyone's just like, well, Sirius is a killer. It's like, no, he's a protector. He was trying to stop Voldemort, and he's, you know, Harry's guardian and everything. I was like, he's doing a lot. And then you see in 4 why he was trying to escape and be prepared for everything that was going to happen. Like, that's one of those things. There's always going to be weak films within its own franchise, but if there's nothing like it, if there's nothing like it, you can't compare it to something else. Like, you can't compare Star Trek to Star Wars because they're two totally separate things. You may be able to compare Star Trek relatively to Battlestar Galactica, but they're still very different. I was like, you gotta look at them for what they are and what's the closest thing to it. But even then, you can't say one's better than the other. I was like, they're gonna have weaknesses and they're gonna have strengths in all aspects. Like I said, nothing's been able to touch The Matrix since those films came out. And you can only compare The Matrix to The Matrix. And that's a fact. That's absolutely a fact. I only compared Dune to Jake and the Fat Man. God. Megatron says he liked Jar Jar. Damn. Well, think about it. Dexter. I don't think so. If you're going to do it to end the war, it's that good. I mean, there's a lot of different things. Gollum. So with that being said, we got 2 topics left. We're going to hit them real quick. Or we're going to hit one real quick because the next one I know is going to be a little bit. To all my Death Note lovers out there, when you talk about one of the big series that a lot of people love, Death Note is absolutely one of the epitome animes of the mid 2000s that a lot of people will praise heavily. Second to, you know, others, you know, of course, the early days of Dragon Ball and Cowboy Bebop and Trigun and all that stuff from the late 90s, early 2000s. And of course, you know, one of the GOATs of the mid 2000s, which was, of course, Code Geass, you know, one of the best mechas out there. Death Note was absolutely one of the best animes in a long while. Well, for those who don't know, it has been ended for a long time from the end of the series for both the manga and the anime. Well, they recently announced that it is getting a brief revival with a one-shot new chapter that's coming out from Shueisha. It is going to be an 87-page long one-shot chapter to bring it back for one new series. It's a kind of, I don't know if it's supposed to be a spin-off or if it's own thing, but they are bringing it back for a single chapter. And for those who don't know, some manga chapters only last about 14 pages. Some can last up to 23. But you're talking about a 90-page single one-shot chapter. That's almost its own little mini manga book. And I'm excited for that because I really want to see what it's going to do, because it's supposedly taking place after the events of the original Death Note, after Ryuk's notebook drops back on Earth yet again. So I'm excited for this as a Death Note fan to kind of see what they do in this one-shot chapter, and if it potentially will lead to a new series of mangas. So I know you're a big Death Note fan of the original series. What are your thoughts on them doing a one-shot revival and kind of seeing what could potentially lead from it?
I'm kind of torn because I don't know if it's going to be as good, but we'll see when it comes out, honestly.
Okay. Jay says that
some stories just don't need to be touched, but
facts.
Like the ending of classic Yu Yu Hakusho or Cowboy Bebop. Yeah. Those are perfect endings. Don't touch them.
Perfect or like this.
You said like, hold on, you said like what, bloody? Cowboy what?
Cowboy Bebop.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite series.
Yeah, that's the GOAT. That's my number one of all time.
Some things you just leave to like just be sacred. Honestly.
Absolutely.
But
don't make no more Freddy Krueger movies.
Or don't remake The Last Dragon ever.
Or New Jack City. Leave it alone.
Exactly. Don't ever violate the series.
Oh, no.
Hopefully it does come out to be it has to be amazing, nothing else. It has to be. So
yeah. That is true. I was like, well, I know they're making a live action of Cowboy Bebop, but I'm saying the ending to Cowboy Bebop was perfect because it was ambiguous.
Epic, not perfect, epic.
Yeah, absolutely. I was gonna say it was ambiguous. You don't know if Spike lived or died or what happened. And he said, the creator himself said, "Hey, look, I left it that way so people could theorize." He's like, "I don't want to touch it. I don't want to go back." He's like, I feel like it's perfect the way it is."
Guess what?
What?
I own a whole series on DVD.
Oh yeah, I was like, I want that.
I got all of that.
I would get the DVDs and the Blu-rays on that because I want those. I was like,
even
the movie.
I'm not.
Even the movies.
I spent too much money to be triple dipping.
I mean,
I had them on tape, and then I had them on DVD.
I do want to get the Funko Pop, right? They have a Funko Pop from anime scenes, and it's the Ballad of Fallen Angels, and you see Spike and Vicious fighting. I was like, there at the last episode. I want that. Oh man, I want that so badly. I was like, I gotta have that.
Sleepy Goblin, shout out to you. Talking about Lemetheus. Right-handed. So I'm in the building on Smash. You know, I always show my brother love. My Comic-Con twin. You already know how we doing in these streets.
Is that in here, Ken?
Next time you see us together, we're going to be at E3. Possibly with that Series X. Let's get it. I had to throw a cheap pun in there.
Oh, shit. Where Bloody go?
A small channel doing big things. Now he there.
Yeah.
Small channels doing big things.
Always.
Who you talking to, Baby Dragon?
No, I was talking to Paradox right now. Baby Dragon's out.
Oh.
Oh yeah, but no, yeah, absolutely. The little dudes are making the biggest moves. That's what it is. I was like, I
Facts.
told them we got merchandise
Facts. We
coming
all over
out
the
too.
place.
Yeah, we got merchandise. We going to all the big events. I was like, you don't see
My
any of these
fail
other
of
people.
2020 is I'm not going to PAX East.
Yeah, I know a lot of people wanted me to go to PAX East too. A lot of streamers were saying, hey, you gotta go to PAX East. I was like, I don't know. I was like, maybe. I was like, get
So
some help.
Megatron, shout out to my boy Lucky Shots who know my man Bloody. I
Yeah.
came in there one night. He's like, "Yo, Bloody, your man just left." You know what I'm saying? That's my man Lucky Shots. Shout out to my man Bloody Knuckles for getting up in that streaming partner scene on Mixer. Proud of you.
Oh yeah, I'm working on it. I was like, that's the movement a lot of people are pushing for. They're like, hey, Nux is gonna get partner 2020. We're gonna make it happen. I was like, yeah, let's go, let's get it. That's the goal. That's the goal. But yeah, man, I was like, there's a lot of stuff coming. I was like, but I'm excited for what they do with it. I want to see how it goes. I was like, but I'm excited that they are doing something. I hope that they're able to capture what made the original series great. I'm glad that's only a one shot. If it goes into something more, maybe that would be cool. But I'm just glad that they are wanting to do more with that series, especially for its anniversary. So
how we gonna be able to watch it, Bloody?
oh no, it's a manga. I was like, it's a one shot chapter manga. It's gonna be 90 pages. Yep. So if you want to check it out, then do that. If they do an OVA of it later, so
You gotta start putting those links in your descriptions.
and I can absolutely do that right.
Now you gotta do that because you gotta lead the people to the water, baby.
Absolutely.
You gotta get them drinking from the well.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Very true.
That's true. You reporting all this stuff, you gotta give them the information how to get there. Cause you are definitely my encyclopedia how to watch this anime, man. As much as I try to squeeze everything into my life.
I say you see that I balance out like 15 different shows a season and still keep on going.
I can't.
I
I'm
can't.
building a studio. Next year when you come down, no Airbnb. Stay at the studio. We good.
All right. So me and Baby Dragon be staying at the studio.
Yeah, possibly.
Hell
If I can get the goddamn thing done, I'm working hard.
Woo. He working on
I'm
it.
gonna have a little launch party. Invite my YouTube friends. I'm gonna invite the radio station. Shout out to Bushwick Radio.
Bushwick Radio, shout out to the homie Light and the man Logic, dropping the beats. I know they want me to go up there before you get that launch because apparently they said they want to hang out. They want me to go up there when
Now we're gonna do a Comic-Con special this year.
Oh, we are? All right, cool. I'll make sure that up
me
there
and
on
you,
Thursday.
But you gotta be here. You gotta be here like a Wednesday to like a Sunday or Monday.
Yeah, I'll probably do Wednesday to Monday this time. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you get here to Wednesday, Thursday we do the show. We could broadcast, I'll stream, do all that, and then people will see we really out here doing them things in these gaming and Comic-Con streets. They don't understand where we coming from.
Nope, not at all. And I know they want me to go out there before that because they want me to go hang out with them and Method and Red because that's what Light was saying. I'm just like, yo, what?
Yeah, if they're around, you good.
Yeah, and I'm just like, yo, what?
The news is busy.
Yeah, I know that. He said they're not touring.
You live in New York, but you doing pop-ins. If you was here all year round, you'd be good. Then it's easy to say, yo, Bloody, come on.
Yeah, right.
We don't know what their schedule is at the time, but I'm gonna try to make it work. We're gonna try to make it work.
Oh yeah, definitely. But so our last topic, guys, is some of our top 5 of animes of 2019. Because like I said, 2019. This is what I was getting to. Because I know I talked about it solo at the start of the show, and Sleepy and Jay Slater could talk about that. Is that 2019 has been stacked, and I mean goddamn stacked with some of the best animes in a long while. Because we are now at the point where there's always like 4 to maybe 5 really great shows a season, not any single 1 or 2 every like once or twice a year. No, we're talking about every season, every 3 months there's always something good coming out. And this year alone has been great, and 2020 is going to be even bigger. So I want to start with you, Soul King, because I know you was keeping up, and I already know who your number 1, your GOAT of the year is. But let everyone know your top 5 for the year.
My top what?
Your top 5 animes for 2019.
Ooh, okay. We already know. I'm gonna start from the.
Your number 1 GOAT.
Nah, I'm gonna start from 5 first. Number 5 is probably gonna be. what is it? Dororo?
Oh, Dororo. Dororo.
Whatever that.
Yeah,
that
Dororo.
shit, I just hate saying that shit.
Yeah, Dororo.
That would be number. That would be number 5. Number 4 would be. Shit. I don't know. That shit hard actually.
I got a nice list. I got a nice list.
Number four is My Hero. I guess, yeah. Number 4 is My Hero. Number 3 would be Mob came out 19?
Which one?
Mob Psycho?
Yeah, Mob Psycho came out earlier this year, so yeah, that was technically in 2019. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. Alright. I said okay, number 3 would be Mob Psycho. Shit, number 2, Attack on Titan. And number 1, of course, the GOAT of all times is Vinland Saga. I'm putting number 4 for Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is number 4.
Okay. Okay. So that's your
Yeah. The anime of the year is Vinland Saga. Ain't no other competing.
Oh, he said no other
Okay.
competing. Ooh.
That's a nice list. I'm impressed.
All right. What's your top 5 for the year?
Number 5, Kenga Ashura.
Kengan Ashura.
I forgot about that.
No, you have to dance. Don't jump on my bandwagon. We don't need your help.
No,
Okay?
I forgot.
Yeah, that's a good one, ain't it? Hold on. I'm looking at my list right now. Yeah, number 4 is Cannon Busters.
Alright, yeah, alright.
Cannon Busters was pretty good. All right.
It was good.
Yeah, it was.
Hold on. That's my number 2. Gotta get this right. Bakai is my number 3.
Oh, Baki.
Oh yeah, the other season did come out this year.
Yeah,
Okay,
Baki.
alright.
Baki. Okay.
Now,
Sleepy, I already
One
see you getting
Punch
excited.
Man is my number 2.
Season 2?
Yeah.
Season 2. Okay.
No. You can't discredit my list. This is about me. This ain't about you. This is about
No,
me.
yeah, you right.
Yeah, he's like, you right.
And my number 1, because I'm biased,
Oh.
from the days of my adolescent youth,
Why do I think- I know what it is.
Castlevania.
Ah, there.
You knew that? Castlevania is my number 1. That series was gangster, and it's not even over. It's not even over.
All right.
Yo, those are my favorite anime. And yes, they all on Netflix. But
Okay.
those are my favorite goddamn
Of course.
anime.
Okay.
Castlevania,
Yeah.
Castlevania is
It's
amazing.
great. It's
It's
great.
amazing.
All right. Let me ask you
Yes.
this. All right. So, what's your one honorable mention, real quick? So,
Say that
What'd you
again?
say?
I said, so what's your honorable mention? You get one.
In life?
No.
No,
For the year.
no,
For the year.
Yeah.
Oh man. Let me see what else I watch. Hold on, I gotta. Well, you know what? The JoJo's Bizarre Adventure series on Netflix.
Oh, okay. You probably watched 2 seasons.
World.
Oh,
I've been
yeah.
a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fan since I learned how to do that special move in the game and freeze everybody and then whoop your ass.
Oh yeah, I was about to say, come on. I was like, dude,
Facts.
you're talking to the
Facts.
JoJo's fan. I tell everyone, I'm wearing my
Yeah,
JoJo's
you got
hat.
it.
Come on, yo, listen, man. You may be the current anime king, but I was the anime originator, baby. I grew up on this stuff.
You're talking about when
Anime.
Dio busts out the world and uses to stop
Yeah.
time. Cause you're talking about
Oh.
that road roller.
Facts. that series was epic, and I watched.
Oh, the
it on
fight!
Netflix.
Everyone tried to dog it, man. Those are some of the best fights because they over the top.
Oh.
Over the top.
And the game was crazy.
Yes, the game.
the original 2-dimensional, like that 3D crap
The-
on
the-
PS4 now.
Yeah,
That's
the 2D
garbage.
fighter. Yeah, the
The
side scroll
2D
2D.
fighter, when the characters jumped out your back, came out with amazing moves.
I'm still looking forward to that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Battle Royale game. I'm waiting for that.
I don't have no faith in Berserker. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Listen, if they do
Video games.
me and Soul said this, if they do Berserk in as a Dark Souls game, it would be god tier.
What was the first system Berserk was on? Was it Dreamcast or PlayStation?
I think PlayStation.
PlayStation.
I think it was
That was the
PlayStation.
best version.
Yeah, Knights of the
They
Old
didn't have
Republic is classic.
Best
FX.
version. Best version.
Yeah.
All right, so
Everything
that
else
was
was
your
better.
honorable mention was JoJo's. What
But
about your?
No. But since you are the Japanese connoisseur in the building, what did you think about my list? Did you respect that list?
Oh yeah, I was about to say there was some real. So those some of them had second seasons or third seasons, and those were really good seasons. Some of them, a lot of people didn't like the second season of One Punch Man. I liked it because one, I liked Gato. Gato was probably one of my favorite villains. You actually wanted to root for Gato because you started understanding why he was. And some of those
Facts.
fights were actually real great. Like watching Gato go up against Bang and Bomb and just get beat the fuck down was probably one of my favorite. Just watch him try to think he could take on his own master, just get his ass whooped. But at the same time, I was just like, come on, Gato, you could do something. Come on, don't do it like that. But no, I was like, that was a good list. I like that for 2019. That was good. Of course, King and Ashura, I'm all about. You know, Sleepy's always talking about it. He spams me messages all the time talking about it. And Baki's just
Right.
great, man. And mixed martial artists. Come on, Baki the
Yeah.
Kid. Baki the Kid. Come on, that's a classic right there.
Grappler.
Yup. The Grappler. That's a classic series that they did a great remake with. Right? They did. All right. So now it is my turn for my top 5. And first off, I'm going to put number 5 is Dororo. I was like, that was a great remake of a classic series. I do love the way that the fights were animated. Mappa did amazing with Dororo.
Yeah, they did.
I was like,
They did
those
really good.
fights were clean. They were slick. I loved it. So Dororo was absolutely well deserving. And that was part of the winter season. Number 4 for me was going to actually be, what did I have as number 4? I had From Commonplace to World's Strongest was actually a big surprise for me. I really liked From Commonplace to World's Strongest because one, they took a character, they did the typical isekai, but they switched it up because they gave him a power that was seen as completely weak. They showed him how he was able to actually train that. He actually started introducing alchemy into a magical world and creating modern weapons and made some badass stuff. And the fights in there were real intense. It was cool with the animation. So I really loved that one. My number 3 was actually going to be Fairygon. Fairygon was absolutely amazing and probably one of the most awesome action fantasies that came out this year. Absolutely well done. And I was like, in season 2 just came out, so I really loved it. My number 2 is Rising of the Shield Hero because god damn it, that series wasn't amazing, wasn't the best, and not made you want to root for the underdog in the best way because man did they do that MC dirty in that character. The way that they did Naofumi, and he showed up everyone, no matter how much shit, every time they did more to just mess with them and screw him over, I got angry. I'm just like, yo, Naofumi, I don't care what you do. I was like, cut them down right now, show them up. But every time he overcame everything, I'm just like, that's what I'm talking about. I read that whole manga. I'm all caught up on the most recent chapter. I can't wait for when they do season 2 next year. I'm all for it. So that was my number 2. And then of course, my number 1, I'm right there with you. So it has to be one of the best fighting, one of the classical histories. Cause who wouldn't want to watch an anime about some damn Vikings? Vinland Saga is probably one of the lit series this year. I was like, and for me, I was like, I'm gonna cheat, right? Because I'm the host and I do what I want. My honorable mention is gonna be split between 2. I was like, my honorable mention is going to be 1, to the Abandoned Sacred Beasts, because I've been talking about this one. It's a great alternative war series. It has supernatural elements. The fights in that are so well done. The characters are great. Each episode is its own story that ties overall. It really was a sleeper that everyone did not pay attention to, and they really should have. And I absolutely say that if you have not watched it, you need to watch To the Abandoned Sacred Beast. is absolutely well worth it. So don't let that one pass you by if you don't have a chance, because it's also done by Mappa. I was like, so if you already loved what they did, if you already loved what Mappa did with Dororo, you will love what they did with To the Abandoned Sacred Beast. I'm telling you, you would absolutely love it. And then my other honorable mention, because of the fact that I do what I want, is going to be season 3 of Psychopaths. Because Psychopaths is amazing. It's always a great crime thriller, a psychological thriller. It's always well done, and it absolutely, the 3rd season absolutely hits. I love it. So absolutely, probably my second honorable mention. So dude, I was like, this year alone has just been stacked with so many great series. It's so hard to put a list. Even if we did a top 10, I would still be struggling on how to set that list, because Assassin's Pride this season was great.
I was like, yeah, my honorable mention would probably be
another like 10.
It'd probably be Promised Neverland or Blaze of Immortal.
Oh yeah, I was saying.
I got one more honorable mention.
Yeah, I was gonna say even Demon Slayer would also have been one of my honorable mentions, and I would say it as well.
It's the Pats just lost to the Titans.
Oh no!
It was by like 1 point, right?
It don't matter what it was, they lost.
Yeah, listen, I don't care. They listen. I'm glad they lost.
Well, right there, Promised Neverland is another one I would have put up there on my list. And another one, you know what? This one I would say, because not a lot of people, I was like, not a lot of people into rom-coms, right? I was like, but this one was really good. It was a bit of a seinen, a little bit more adult-oriented, but the humor in it is probably one of the best ones this year for rom-coms, was Kaguya-sama, Love is War. I was like, I love that one because of the fact that, one, it is pure meme material, and plus Chiaki is amazing, and everyone sees all the gifs and stuff of Chiaki everywhere. So if you like rom-coms, I think you would actually really like Kaguya-sama, Love is War. That's probably one of my most underrated rom-coms this year. I love anime, but can't do subtitles. I understand that, Megatron. Not everyone can do. Yeah, Garo.
Megatron, you trying to tell us you can't read?
Oh, Radiant, yeah, Jay Slayer. Radiant was really good too.
Same age group. We got RIF. Reading is fundamental. I got you, bro. I'll get you the one where the words pop up, and it got voiceovers.
Oh no.
Dr. Seuss.
Oh, Radiant was a really great series as well. Jay Slayer, absolutely was a wonderful one. All right, so I'm gonna touch on this last topic real quick because I missed it.
Son, I gotta go.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Make sure you guys go check out One Away Dragon TV over on Twitter. Make sure you go show him some love. Also follow him over on YouTube. I was like, go show the boy some love. All you gotta do is just hit the end call button, bro. Right there. If you pull up Discord, if you look in the bottom left, you'll see where it says call. Just hit the big red disconnect button.
Let me see. I see go live. I see mute. I see no.
There you go. Hey, what's good? What's good, Guns? What's going on? What's going on, my man? So last topic before we hop on out of here is Neon Genesis Evangelion. You see me here rocking a shirt, right? Classic, one of the classic mechas of the mid 90s and early 2000s. Probably the one that'll make you realize just how fucked up you are in the head and understanding all the bullshit that goes on in that series. Probably one of the classics, right? Probably one of the most beloved and also one of the most warped animes to exist. Well, the creator himself has actually come out and stated that he does not stand by, he does not support, and he holds no love for his original studio that he helped to found, which is Gainax Studios. The original creator of Neon Genesis has basically come out and said that everyone who helped to create that classic series and everyone that helped to set and found Gainax is no longer at Gainax, and Gainax is not the studio that he once knew. Everything that has happened to Gainax is a shame because all the creators and everyone from that team have moved on and made their own new studios, being one of the GOATs, which is Studio Trigger. And of course, he has done his own projects now, and a whole different company actually is redoing the remakes of Neon Genesis with 3.0 plus 1.0, which is actually going to be coming, which is now out on Netflix, and the new movie that's going to be coming out later. For those who don't realize why he's speaking about this, it was recently revealed that one of the directors and heads of voice acting auditions there at Gainax Studio was actually arrested for sexual misconduct for assaulting and taking sexual and naked photos of some of the voice actresses who were trying to get jobs there, and some of them were underage. And he said that it's a shame to watch the company that he helped found and set up fall into such states, but he is glad that all of the original members that were there who helped to create his beloved franchise, as well as who also made other classic series, such as what they did with Gurren Lagann for the team who was behind that went to Trigger, as well as Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt, are no longer there and affiliated with such a horrible place. Now, him calling for them to cancel and basically say, look, I'm done with that studio, they're not the studio, it's the same, and knowing the history that Gainax has, that actually hits really hard. So, hearing about the creator himself, Hideaki, basically saying that, basically cut all ties with Gainax. Gainax is not the same, it will never be the same, and that there's no point in holding out for them anymore. How do you feel about that? Because I believe even Gainax was the studio that was behind the Berserk anime, weren't they?
Well, which one?
Wasn't it the classic? Wasn't it the original? Or did they oversee the
90s? I'm not for sure.
I think they did the 90s one. I think they did where the original 90s.
They did the 90s one. I had to look that up again, but yeah, like if I don't like, they just got to be better with their their hiring process. They got to actually look into these people and whatnot, and if somebody does that, they have to completely they got to completely remove them from their company. In general, they can't condone this. None of that should be happening at your company. And for the creator, the person that helped build up the studio, to come say that, they should feel ashamed of themselves, honestly.
Yeah, and you got to think this is one of their directors, one of their head people who are there. He said that he was hired well after everyone else had left, but the fact is, he's saying that Gainax themselves is not the same anymore. It's not the studio that he left behind or anything, and that it's completely tarnished the legacy of what they left behind. So he's completely done with them. So it's crazy to think, man. But I agree.
Yeah.
They got to be better about who they have in what position, and to kind of see that he was taken to that. That he got called out on that, and he did all that, and they spoke out on it, man. They did what they had to do. It's what it is. So, it's one of those things, man. Yeah, I agree. Sleepy Trigger is great. Well, guys, I think that's it for us tonight. We've been going for a hot minute. So, before we get on out of here, Soul King, my brother, where could they find you at, my man?
Well, most of the time I'm just on Twitter, so you guys can follow me on Twitter at Soul King Lives. Of course, I have an Instagram too, where I post most of my art. But I post most of my art on Twitter as well. But you can follow me on Instagram at the Soul King, and that's pretty much it.
Yep, and you could also see him making memes every time that's getting more likes in his art. So go show the boys some proper love, goddammit.
Yeah, people like my trolling more than my art. So
I know. What kind of shit is that? Like,
be a part of this.
Be a part of the movement. Support the art, not the meme. I mean, well, support memes too, but I still can't believe that you took that meme of the child from the Mandalorian and just put a bonnet on it, and that blew up more than anything.
Bonnet, yeah.
That was it.
Blew up more than anything I ever did in my life.
Just made me laugh.
Really? That took me fucking 2 minutes to make.
All I did was find a bonnet PNG, just put it on top. Damn it! What the hell?
I am done.
He's like, I'm done with the internet. I can't do this. And that's when his internet went out, and he's just like, well, I lied. I'm not done with the internet. Come back. Come back to me.
I might as well just keep doing it, because clearly everybody loves, trolling memes.
Oh God. And guys, you already know what it is. If you're not following me, you need to make sure that you do, because of the fact that I am all over. You can find me on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, all at Bloody Nuts. BLOODIE_KNUX. And of course, over here on YouTube, if you follow the podcast, as well as you want to make sure you follow me on Mixer over there. I was like, we have made 2 homes for our show, so that way we are everywhere, so you can always find us. And of course, as I state, I stream 4 times to 5 times a week, depending on how busy I am or what I'm doing. So I always try to make time to do all sorts of stuff like that, guys. So make sure you go and check that out, and you can find all of that right here in the chat. Right there, all of the links to my social media. So make sure you do check that out. And of course, like he said, make sure you go and check out. So, because we got plenty of things coming here in 2020, guys. So until next time, we will be back next Saturday, hopefully at 8 o'clock on time, and everyone's here. Because if not, I'm gonna start putting foots to asses. I'm gonna be Red Foreman, god damn it, because I'm going to get onto everyone except for the one man who's got a child that is freshly born. Everyone else has got kids that been around. Be like, hey, look, tell your kid to just eat some milk and go do his own thing. God damn it! I was like, you don't need to feed him anymore. It's like, that's, your wife already did all that work. I was like, they don't need to do anything. So, guys, we'll be back next week and have, as always, the ridiculous kind of fun that we do here, talking about what we love. We'll hopefully be able to talk about the new series of 2020 kicking off here with the winter season. So trust me, we'll be back with that and everything else. But until next time, guys, sayonara and peace out. And check you later, guys.